Good morning, y'all. We are in the studio. Today, I wanted to share with you guys like a walkthrough of my creative process. So yeah, I painted a couple things yesterday and I've just been really inspired, especially after going to the art museums. I'm not sure what direction I want to take it. I want kind of a challenge. I have the day to paint. So I have a large canvas. I'm not sure the size of it. I forget. It's an old canvas. I've used it before. I've attempted to paint on it, but I didn't like it. And so I painted over it, but that's on the desk right here. And I broke my easel, so that sucks. Luckily, I have this amazing huge desk, so that is a really nice workspace. So step number one is prepping the space. My room is a mess, but my rule is that my workspace, like my actual workbench, is clean when I start, and then it gets crazy. But so I started by clearing off my desk. I'm going to lay out my paints, my paint palette. I use a piece of cardboard. I wanted to talk a little bit about my tools. I remember there's this girl in my high school tennis team that would always be like, a good worker never blames her tools. And like, not so true. I've collected an array of usually just the cheap paintbrush sets you get in a pack. And then on occasion, I'll like splurge and buy like a really nice detail brush or something. But like this guy. But these are my brushes. I love them dearly. My favorite has been this pack of like filberts. This pack of filberts from Michaels. It comes in a set and it looks like this, and they're different sizes. That has been my go-to. So my palette is really small. Somebody on TikTok said to do that, and I tried it out, and because I didn't want to buy a bunch of colors. I didn't know what colors to start with. So they said these colors, titanium white, ultramarine blue, cadmium yellow, and cadmium red. And then I have raw umber as well. And I use the raw umber and the ultramarine blue to create black, like a black-like color. I talk about that later. I'm going back and recording this because it got deleted. Hey now. So yeah, there's a hand in this picture, which I was like thinking about totally just like not like foregoing the hand and just living my best life, but I hate myself and I want to cause myself pain. I'm just kidding. That's like intense. Hello. So I included the hand, and so that will be interesting when I get to it. Surprise. Yeah, I love this photo. I think it's from last year, and I just like did my makeup super cute, put some blue on. I love blue shadow and like a red lip. My lip's not that red, but yeah, back when I had a nose piercing and an eyebrow piercing. How cute. How fun. And my little pigtails, my hair was short. This is before I shaved my head. This was like leading up to it. I was like getting ready for it. I cut my hair like super short. I kept cutting it shorter and shorter. But this was a really cute length, and I'm almost back there. And yeah, well, almost done here. This was intensive, by the way. So, and this is what it looks like. So first thing I'm going to do is mix my skin tones. So again, I think having a limited palette really helps me with this. And I learned on TikTok actually how to do this and what colors I needed. So this is my setup. I'm listening to Lord's album. I have a little desk on the side for my paints and a little lamp to illuminate. So now I'm gonna start. Make sure you're wearing paint clothes. Okay. I'm not sure why I told you guys you should be in paint clothes. Unless you're painting. That would be cool. But yeah, so I had a bunch of that medium skin tone on my brush, so I just thought I wouldn't waste it, so I blocked in like part of the forehead. And I'm just going for it. Usually, so I always start with the eye, which people on TikTok say you should start like dark to light and block in huge like blocks or whatever. But this is my own process. And so I decided, yeah, I'm going to start with the eye. So it's my favorite part, honestly. If you've looked closely at my other portraits, you can tell I put like the most time and effort into the eye. And then just like if the nose is okay, and then the lips are just like, what? What did she do? And that kind of happened today. But I'm hoping since I'm painting tomorrow, or I'll like pick it back up tomorrow or the next day, I'm hoping that um, I can actually like focus on the lips. I love the features. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about my art practice while we watch me paint. Trying to make it interesting for you guys. But basically, this piece is inspired. I just love doing portraits of myself, and maybe that's a red flag, but oh well. I think I'm beautiful, and I love painting my features. So basically, I love going through like past photos and capturing just different times in my life. Yeah, I think it's really cool to capture my different looks. I always like change my hair, makeup, piercings, and so it's really fun playing with that. Like I was wearing a fun eyeshadow color here. Um and I think I started making art. What really sticks out to me is I was 18, I believe, and I have this portrait I painted for Mother's Day of me and my mom in our regalia, and I like stayed up all night. I was like, I'm gonna make. It's the first time I ever like attempted a portrait, really, and I was like, I'm gonna make this look good, and it does. It doesn't look bad, like for someone's first time. So that's a really special picture to me. It's in her office. And so I started taking art seriously, I think last year. I really wanted to just like solidify a practice, and I wanted to get my art out there. I wanted exposure. I wanted to express myself. And that's what it all comes down to, really, is I think like just expressing myself and putting it out there. Um, but I created a website, shout out Dooley's Vision, and it's now my blog, but I put all my art up there, and I put prints to sell. And those prints, I still have a couple. They're really sweet. They're really cute, and I give them out to all my friends, and it's really nice it's really sweet to see them hanging in their like apartments or rooms or whatever. But yeah, I started I started to believe that I could accomplish something that I never thought I could, which was painting portraits. And I started out with my own face, and it was rough at first. It was really rough. But I learned how to study like the shapes. That's what like was huge, is I couldn't see shapes like in a face. I couldn't see the different tones and where their boundaries were. And so that's something I really learned and developed over the past year. Guys, I'm really improvising here, but I just want to let it be known that you should do your underpainting. Like, this painting has really made it clear how like helpful it is to do an underpainting and prepare your canvas. I don't do either of those things. I used to do underpaintings more, but I love the feeling of like painting for the first time on the canvas. Um, my usual like before my paints, I made them really thin, and I would just kind of like not layer as much. But I've gone into like layering a lot, especially with the red lines on this. Like I'm painting in like I'm doing like quick underpaintings in sections so I can get the right color. But yeah, do your underpaintings and prepare that canvas. Like I've never done it, but like putting the gesso on and like sanding it isn't for me. So if you're like me, don't feel bad. If you're like me, shout out. If you're like me, leave a comment below. Yeah, let's get back to it. So I was thinking, like, why am I so compelled to create? And I really think it comes down to like wanting to express myself and see myself like on something like reflected back to me. I love learning about myself, and I think doing art and like creating art concepts really helped me do that. And I really want to grow and understand myself. And I think doing the art like actually helps me understand moments in my life and just how I feel about things. And I also have this like desire, this deep desire to make something beautiful that's beautiful to me. And so it's really satisfying, just art for me in general. I was also thinking, like, what advice would I give to myself if I was just like when I was just starting? And that would be to really see, like, learn how to see, spend time staring at pictures that you like inspire you, and carve out shapes, no matter like if they are, like, try to find the shapes that are there. If they aren't, that's okay. But really like spend time, like get a photo and then draw over it and like outline those shapes. And that's how I start every painting now. I would also tell myself, like, push yourself to make bad art. Not necessarily art on the days you're not feeling it. I think that has to do more with discipline, and if you're building a discipline, which I am not there yet, and am moving towards it. But just make bad art. Like, if you're feeling moved to make art and it's not turning out how you want it to, just that's okay. That's totally okay. And then another like crucial step, I think, to starting out, or like that would have helped me when I started out, is don't be a hater. Like, try not to be a hater of your own art. It is good to like see things like where you can improve, but like learn to cherish your art. Like, you made that with your hands and your imagination. So, yeah. So, another thing like that I want to talk about now that I didn't know if I was going to bring up is this feeling that I have that's attached to making art. And for some reason, I feel shame around like creating and especially exposing my art as well. So creating and exposing. I'm not sure why. I always think about like what other people will say when I'm creating, especially my parents, and I just like I want to be understood, but my art sometimes like it's hard, maybe for other people it's hard to understand, and or like they might judge it. I don't know. I want to get rid of this shame that I have around creating. Also, just the fact that like as somebody who has bipolar 1, making a lot of art is a red flag for the people around you. And me, especially making art, like if I spend a lot of time, that was just like one of the signs of my mania. And so I feel ashamed and I feel like I have to hide the fact that I'm making art even though I'm stable. And there's just like a lot of shame around creating art for some reason. And if you feel this way at all, like whether it's because of bipolar, whether it's because something else, like I want to hear what you have to say. Like, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk about this. Yeah, sorry, not sorry for getting too real with you guys, but that's that. Um, I was also thinking the idea about calling myself an artist. And I was thinking, I started calling myself an artist, like, not not that it matters for other people. I think it matters as like a self-identity thing. I started like telling myself that I'm an artist last year when I was creating a lot of work, and I felt this kind of imposter syndrome. Like, am I good enough to be an artist? Like, yes, I'm an artist. And I saw this TikTok the other day that was like, I paint for a living. I also work 40 hours a week, but I paint for a living. And that's how I feel. I don't have a job yet, but I like, this is my life. This is what my life is. I just hate the idea that you have to like make money to be something. And I just think that defeats the point of, what an artist is. So I don't think the only people that are artists are the ones that have like made it big, quote unquote, like are in the media or making money off of it. I'm an artist and maybe you are too. So that's dope. I'm getting burnt out, so I think I'm gonna do the hair, try to do the hair the best I can, and then call it for today. I'll upload this tonight, and then, yeah, hopefully tomorrow I can work on it. Maybe finish it. Saving the hands for tomorrow. Yeah. Did you see that? I brought out the controversial color, and not for the reason you think that it's controversial. That's crazy, first of all. Second of all, people are like, don't use black. It doesn't have depth. Like, mix your own, black light color. And to that, I say, okay, normally, yes. I don't have enough paint of the other colors to mix my hair, so I'm just gonna use black. Also, I'm lazy, and like, this is the end of my work day for this painting. So, yeah, I like my little ponytail in this, my little pigtail. It's cute. Yeah. And then next, so I'm just doing that, and then I'm gonna add little metallic color to the nose ring and the eyebrow studs. Yeah. So that's it for today. This is her. And yeah, I did the little nose ring and eyebrow piercings. I painted them metallic. And yeah, I'm super happy with it so far. So stay tuned. I hate doing hands, so this is gonna be rough. But I think I can do it. I think I can do it.